Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. The start of the Culling Games, if I recall the name of the event correctly. Let's talk about it. To start off, I have to say, my favorite episode in this season was the 9th, an episode where I cried. Cried! The last anime that had me cry was the first season of Dandadan, in episode 7, with the mother and daughter, had me bawling dog. With this season's 9th episode, Higuruma's and Itadori's interaction, let's call it didn't have me quite bawling out, but tears were going down my face as the characters and episode reached its resolution. Whilst there are better fights in this season, this one's gotta be the most emotionally impactful to me. Megumi's possesses a lot of technicality, maybe a bit too much. Yuta's is certainly shock and awe, and Maki's has an emotional weight and bombastic action. Itadori's, it just hit different. A sense of utter rawness and absolute vulnerability that the others lack. Itadori's absolute belief that he is entirely responsible for the massacre in Shibuya portrayed in his face during his confession. Higuruma's disbelief at said confession, everything about that 9th episode. It just hit different. Maki's has some of those same qualities in terms of emotional weight as stated previously, but it sort of was overshadowed by the action and animation. But all of them were blessed with fantastic animation, as per usual when it comes from the likes of Mappa. Not really surprising. However, I do have some critiques. Surprising, I know. The pacing, it was really weird. It's hard to describe. It wasn't slow. If anything, one could make the argument that the pace was fast, jam-filled, action-packed, all gas, no brakes type pace. But I think because of the lack of breathing room between each fight, subsequent fights felt less impactful over time. Like, the final fight of the season was that grandiose spectacle of a finale, but it didn't feel like it. But, in fairness, if I'm recalling correctly, they're sort of on the timer, and this is a part 1. Part 2 I think has been announced already, so I'll hold off on truly scrutinizing the Culling Games in its totality. I will say, the rules, ain't nobody got time for that. I'll just hope the story reminds us of said rules as it goes along. Overall, story so far seems good, and art and animation standards have been maintained from the previous season, if not heightened at certain points in the narrative. Rating the 3rd season of Jujutsu Kaisen, I'd give it an 8.2 out of 10. I gave it a lot of thought whether or not it maintained that 8.2 as all of the previous seasons of JJK have. Whilst I think the pacing is very strange, I do have to give credit to this season for having an episode where I cried in the 9th, and Maki's family reunion with the Zen holds a particular satisfaction, both from a storytelling perspective and an artistic perspective, that you don't see too often. At least, I don't. Things of note. Illustrating is being neglected, but considering this week is a deload week, maybe I can do something. Nihongo is somewhat consistent, not to the previous levels, but it has a level of consistency that I'm satisfied with. I suppose now I need to figure out what anime to watch next, so that'll be a fun endeavor to deal with again. The cut I started a while ago was going rough at first, but I've made alright progress considering I've lost weight. Lost about 1 kilo. Since then, need to lose more, I think. Whatever the lowest weight is, whilst maintaining my level of strength, that's the goal. Also, gaming has slowed down, mainly because of my own indecision of which game to start. I'll figure it out later rather than sooner, preferably. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat a quarter of a waffle, then chill for a bit whilst Maid Mint plays Minecraft horror maps in the background. Matan. This journal entry was written on July 14th, 4 p.m.
Hit me! Buddy, help! Another!